what's the personality type of Olivia Rodrigo? Today, I want to see if I can figure that out, or at least some patterns, clues that could be interesting, fun for us all. For those of you I haven't met yet, I'm Eric Wen, and on this channel, I really enjoy analyzing other creators' personalities to help you get a fresh lens on yourself. What are your personality superpowers? What are you actually bringing to the table? Before we start, this meter I'm gonna have in the rest of the video, it helps me figure out what people's personality type is. Each color, each abbreviation represents a different personality superpower, a different personality preference. If you wanna learn more about that, you can click this video right here. But in the meantime, let's just watch some Olivia Rodrigo and see what we can find.
Yeah, I was actually really grateful to have the time to like just hone in on all that stuff.
Yeah, me too. I actually recorded my debut EP in quarantine too. Kind of to echo what Joshua said, I think both of us are like really creative, and it was kind of nice to have some time just to sit with yourself and your thoughts and your ideas and kind of have time to like mine that out. Joshua actually challenged me to write a song every day of quarantine. And like we both kind of fell off a little bit, but definitely like challenging myself creatively was something that happened.
How has it been reuniting with your fellow castmates?
We are still technically not allowed to hug on set. If we're ever like closer than 6 feet apart, somebody goes, oh, 6 feet apart. So it's kind of
like a school dance.
Hard. Yeah, I'm such a big hugger and I love everyone on set so much. So it's a little bit of a challenge still, but it was definitely so nice to see them all again and talk to them. I think they're kind of like our second family. So it was really hard being away from them for so long.
So the reason I'm sort of noticing more clues for something called extroverted feeling is like what she chooses to share. She says it in a way that brings people together, that sort of balances people out. She has a lot of the sort of we're all in this together type of vibe that she gives out to other people, and that's something that extroverted feelers are really good at.
Was it you two last year that put passwords on each other's phones and then forgot the passwords?
Yeah, well, I remembered my password and Joshua didn't remember mine. So mine is still locked, but I don't think his is.
It's still locked?
Still locked to this day, yep. And he's like, we're gonna do like a holiday special and each one of you is gonna get a holiday song and it's gonna be amazing. We were so stoked. I think I was just personally so stoked that we were like all gonna be working together again because I just missed that experience so much. But it's fantastic. We'll do like some Christmas covers, Hanukkah covers. Josh wrote an original song for the special, which is amazing. And I think my favorite part about it is you kind of just get to learn more about like the actors as people and their backstories. And I remember we watched it maybe like a couple weeks ago for the first time. And I remember learning stuff about my cast members that I had no idea about before. So I think people will gonna get to know us on a more human level more, which I'm excited for.
I think
So notice how she's like extremely people oriented. The things she gets excited about are that sort of together thing and learning more about other people. That is definitely a clue. She also, whenever she says stuff, like includes a little comment to like bring the other person in or sort of give the other person a compliment so that they can feel good. Extroverted feelers do this sort of balancing thing where they just naturally create harmony amongst other people, and especially the ESFJ personality types, they do it so naturally, it's almost subconscious. It's very interesting.
He's like, this is perfect for Olivia. And I actually had only heard it previously on The Politician. Ben Platt sings it in The Politician, and I thought it was like a Politician original song. So I was like, oh wait, this is like amazing. And it's Joni Mitchell and she's the greatest. And I actually like dove into her discography after like learning about this song.
The things that she brings in to add or that things remind her of, they tend to be sort of detailed. They tend to be real. So it's like, this reminded me of this artist, this song, this other thing that I've seen before. And there's certain personality types where that is one of their personality superpowers. They really like grounding things in the past and things that they've seen before. And it usually involves things that are real, that definitely happened, that can be confirmed, that are reliable. Think sort of like the mindset of someone who's really into history. Like as soon as they see something, it reminds them of something in the past that it's connected to. Again, we're only a couple minutes in, you can't see anyone's real personality from just that, but I am starting to see clues in certain directions.
line at the end is, this song's the second best. Love to see that, yeah.
This other guy talks a lot.
I think my favorite thing about season 2 and
what is she gonna bring up? Let's see.
In general is that there are like no side characters, and I think in season 2 that's just kind of an extension of that principle. I think people that we kind of just touched on in season 2 will really get to know really deeply and well. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the audience to kind of know characters a little bit more.
People. So far it's pretty clear she's an extroverted feeler, so she's an FJ personality type. She hasn't like done any of the things that an introverted feeler would do. I'm open to seeing more, but so far like I'm pretty confident about that part.
So how would you say you've both grown personally as musicians since the start of the series?
Oh God, immensely. I think about this all the time, and I think a big reason that I grew so much is because I met Joshua, who is obviously...
So right there, she is expressing herself very authentically, but it's not in a way that rocks the boat. It's not like coming from inside because she can't help it. Extroverted feelers are also authentic, also expressive, just like introverted feelers, but they sort of like doing that in a way that matches the energy in the room, doesn't throw people off too much, and is like appropriate. For them, they're so naturally clued into other people's reactions and needs that when they express themselves, they want to do it in a way that keeps people together.
A big reason that I grew so much is because I met Joshua, who is obviously this amazing musician, singer-songwriter, and I think before that I had never really met anyone that was kind of interested in the same things that I was interested in that was like my age, and that was really inspiring, and I think he really pushes me to do better.
She keeps tying it to him, which I get it, it's like they're cast members, whatever, but like her brain naturally jumps to people a lot. And also like what I noticed right there is like before I hadn't met this, people who use something called introverted sensing, that sort of past referential thing, they tend to think about the past and describe things sort of in chapters. So sort of that like, this was how things were before and this is how things are now. It naturally sort of like spills out in their speaking. Again, tiny clue, not enough to like bet your life on or anything, but it's, things are definitely leaning in certain directions.
Oh wow, like there's, you know, she still writes a song every single day and I'm like, geez, I gotta get on my game, you know?
So Olivia's winning the Write a Song Every Day challenge.
She is winning, yes. I'm definitely losing that.
I don't know about every day. I definitely sit at my piano and putz around every day. Over like lockdown, I wrote one every day for like maybe 3-4 months, which was, I was so proud of myself for, but obviously most of them were absolutely awful, but you know, it's the thought that counts, it's the practice.
I highly doubt that.
Again, like, she says things to make sure that other people don't feel bad. Extroverted feelers can make themselves sort of like blend in with the group, not in a bad way. It sounds bad, but it's not bad. They notice when people are feeling left out or feeling bad, and they're willing to sort of turn down how much their personality stands out to make sure that that other person is included and fits in.
People were like talking about what the song meant to them and like how it helped them get through like certain heartbreaks and like sad times in their life, and like reading it was like, it made me feel like so seen that all of these people were going through experiences that I was going through.
We're all in this together.
But I think one of my favorite things about the show is that it really focuses in on like finding your tribe and like feeling accepted and feeling like you belong. And I think that's something that we all days, at least I do.
She's like so obviously an extroverted feeler. Everything she's saying is the definition of extroverted feeling. We're all in this together, bringing people together. If someone sort of feels left out, left behind, going out of their way to make sure that person feels included, create a positive emotional experience for that person. The things that she did bring up did not blast off into abstract theme concept land. So feeling pretty good about this assessment right here. I think she's definitely an S. I want to see if I can find a clip of her in a different context.
You're gonna gag when you see my next guest because I'm so excited. I have with me the star of High School Musical, the series. I was literally obsessed with her when I watched the first episode, and she's here now, Olivia Rodrigo. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding? I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy. I've watched these videos all the time. I feel like starstruck. I'm in the bedroom where it all happens.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This season has ended, so
Yes.
it's nice because this is like a nice little treat probably for everybody because they like didn't get an episode today.
Right.
The first thing I wanted to ask you about was that because this wasn't released in binge style, how was that watching the season like?
Right.
Do you actually like wake up on Friday morning and you're like, watch the episode? Because I know some people probably wouldn't want to.
I do.
You
I
see
love
how she's like really aware of playing off of the other person, checking it like, is it my turn to talk right now?
Watching the season like,
Right.
do you actually like wake up on Friday morning and you're like, watch the episode? Because I know some people probably wouldn't want to.
I do.
See how she's like stopping actually her self-expression to make sure that the other person has their turn to finish talking. When the other person says something, she's doing like gestures and stuff to make sure that that person feels heard and seen. It's not like extrovert feelers are always nice. They definitely can use this personality superpower for bad things. But what makes extrovert feeling is that they're always sort of noticing how what they do affects other people. They're always sort of clued into other people's needs and reactions and are aware of how to give of what's necessary to balance things out. For extroverted feelers, so the FJ personality types, when they make decisions about how they want to express themselves, make decisions, it's not just themselves that they're thinking about. They factor in the reactions and needs and emotions of other people in the group. Usually that plays out that they're very nice and conscientious, but that's not always the case.
I love watching it. And I know some actors like hate watching themselves and they get self-conscious, and like I just remember all of the memories that I like had shooting it. Oh, I remember what these people were doing here, and the hair and makeup people were dancing to this song. After that, we went to In-N-Out together.
There's an In-N-Out in Salt Lake?
Oh my gosh, yes!
You see the memory thing? I'm pretty confident about what her personality type is now.
Good memories at In-N-Out.
I miss In-N-Out so much in New York.
Did you live in LA ever?
I'm from San Diego.
You're from San Diego?
Yeah.
Josh is from San Diego too.
Well, let's talk about some of the arcs of the season.
Let's do it.
So your character like went on a journey.
She went on a journey!
Okay, so I watched a couple extra videos to double check some things to make sure, but I just kept seeing a lot more of the same. She is definitely an extroverted feeler, which means that she is an FJ personality type. Out of the 4 FJ personality types, I'm pretty confident she is an ESFJ. When you really get into the nitty-gritty Myers-Briggs, there's 2 feeling, emotional decision-making styles: introverted feeling and extroverted feeling. Introverted feelers make decisions that prioritize personal authenticity, pure self-expression. How can I make decisions that value and express and communicate the real me? Even if it throws people off, makes it where they don't fit in, sometimes they even make people feel uncomfortable, they prioritize their personal authenticity, unfiltered self-expression, even if it means compromising some of the group harmony. On the other hand, extroverted feelers, like we saw with Olivia today, they enjoy making decisions that prioritize group harmony. They're all about what is appropriate. How can I meet this other person's needs? How can I create an emotional experience for this other person? That is what they're clued into. They're looking outward. For them, if it brings people together, balances people out, keeps people connected, they're fine compromising, sacrificing some of their personal authenticity if it means bringing people together. I saw some people online say she has to be an introverted feeler because of like how emotional and nuanced and angsty Driver's License is. Just because her song is super emotional and expressive and nuanced doesn't mean that she's an introverted feeler. In fact, it doesn't even mean that she's a feeler. Every personality type has an emotional side, can feel deeply, has deep emotions that they can tap into. They might not be crying all the time, they might not be super expressive, but just because she wrote a personal emotional song does not mean at all that she's an introverted feeler. Like, I'm an INTP and I'm a pretty thinky, logical person. My emotions are pretty stable and steady most of the time. But if you see me in a romantic context or with some of my really close friends, I surprise myself with the amount of like intense, deep emotions that come out. Some of the things I've written and expressed and felt are just as intense and angsty as Driver's License, which is a wonderful song, by the way. If you enjoyed this video, want to see me react, analyze like this a little bit more, let me know in the comments down below who you'd like me to take a closer look at. If you're a little bit of a nerd and want to learn more about these personality superpowers we discussed briefly today, you should check out this video on my second channel. I deep dive on the personality stuff a lot more there. Thanks guys so much for watching. You are the change maker of your own life. Let's think more deeply. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Bye.